Born in 1971, Kyoto native Hiroyoshi Yamamoto played basketball in high school, but started bodybuilding with a view to becoming a professional wrestler. Joining the Noge Dojo in 1990, he wrestled his debut match on January 11, 1991, against Osamu Matsuda, the future El Samurai. His first victory came 6 months later in Sapporo against contemporary Koji Kanemoto. And he had the honor of competing on the first January 4th Tokyo Dome card in 1992 in the opening match against Black Cat. On March 23, 1993, Yamamoto became the fourth ever winner of the Young Lion Cup over the late great Osamu Nishimura and went away on excursion thereafter to Canada and Germany, making his return on January 4, 1995 in the Tokyo Dome with a new distinctive look and a muscle mass to back up his hard-hitting style. Hiroyoshi Yamamoto is now Hiroyoshi Tenzan, and he picked up a win over Manabu Nakanishi. On the fast track to success, Tenzan challenged for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship on February 4th against Shinya Hashimoto. At 23 years and 4 months, he was up to that point the youngest to ever challenge for the IWGP title. And while victory would not be his, Tenzan had made a massive impression. Tenzan's huge impact shortly after returning from excursion made him a young man everyone wanted on their team. Tenzan would violently reject an offer from Shiro Koshinaka and Heisei Ishingun before putting Hashimoto through a table the same night and aligning himself with Masahiro Chono, Hiro Saito, and Sabu in Chono's Pack of Wolves. On June 12th, Chono and Tenzan captured the vacant IWGP Tag Team titles against Hashimoto and Junji Hirata, the first of 5 reigns for Choten, and the first of 12 IWGP Tag Team title reigns over the course of Hiroyoshi Tenzan's career. It was an explosive first year back from excursion for Tenzan, and his rival Satoshi Kojima wanted the same success, making his own return on January 4th, 1996. The two did violent battle, but Tenzan put Kojima away in the end. By 1997, Tenzan was part of a global phenomenon, the New World Order. As a part of NWO Japan, Tenzan got under the skin of NJPW's Hontai. January 4th, 1997 saw Choten lose the IWGP Tag titles to the original IWGP Tag Team champions Tatsumi Fujinami and Kengo Kimura. But the wars between NJPW and the NWO continued, including for Tenzan and Kojima. But in late 1998, Kojima made an about-face, joining the NWO and teaming with his rival Tenzan. At the Tokyo Dome on January 4th, 1999, Ken Kozi won the IWGP Tag Team Championship for the first of 6 times, defeating Shiro Koshinaka and Genichiro Tenryu. Their reign included a first-time ever tag title match between 4 members of NJPW's 3rd generation, as Ten Kozi defeated Yuji Nagata and Manabu Nakanishi. They were a great duo, but years before Big Papa Pump, they proved that math and pro wrestling don't always mix in a famous message to the press.
1たす1は2じゃないぞ。あ、俺たちは1たす1で200だ。
どうだおい。
10倍だぞ、10倍。
俺たちの前力侮んなよほら。
長い間待っていました今日のこの超の越えの一戦。ターゲットを絞ってダイビングショット。
ノートン小島と天山チーム2000がリング上を占拠いたしました。トップロープに上がる天山が四方を見渡してダイビングヘッドバット。さあそのままフォールン体勢。
The scene was evolving, and so did NWO Japan under Chono into Team 2000. But the attitude was as strong as ever, and the group painted the cerulean blue jet black.
チーム2000が黒一色にリングを染めました。ここが一番厳しいですよね。
そうですね、ここを乗り切った方が
Tenkozi were just as effective a team as ever, and in Osaka in December 2001, won the G1 Tag League by beating Mike Barton and Jim Steele in the final. But things were changing rapidly behind the scenes across the wrestling landscape. In January 2002, Kojima announced he was leaving NJPW behind, joining Keiji Muto in All Japan Pro Wrestling. Kojima's last match as an NJPW contracted wrestler for a long time was in Korakuen Hall, and of course it was alongside Tenzan as a new chapter unfurled in their relationship. Tenkozi's bond were still strong even as promotions separated them. And when Tenzan needed a partner to take on Masahiro Chono and Manabu Nakanishi in the Tokyo Dome on January 4, 2003, Kojima answered the call for one night only. Yet with his famed tag team no longer at the front of his mind, Tenzan was able to dedicate himself to singles wrestling and to represent the Lion Mark as a single player to the best of his ability. In 2003, he made the final of G1 Climax 13, where he faced Pro Wrestling Noah's Jun Akiyama, and 13 years into his career became known as the strongest of the summer for the first of 3 tournament wins. That's not to say Tenzan lost his tag team chops, however. Alongside Osamu Nishimura, Tenzan defeated IWGP Heavyweight Champion Yoshihiro Takayama and Toa in Korakuen Hall, taking the G1 Climax and G1 Tag League in the same year. That gave Tenzan unstoppable momentum into a singles challenge in November in Yokohama Arena. Tenzan had already beaten an outsider in Akiyama to win the G1 Climax. With defeat over Takayama, his first IWGP title win in 7 attempts seemed to put a cap on Tenzan's best career year and saw the title back home in NJPW.
勝負になってまいりましたが、しかし新日本にとっては天山にとっては勝たなければ何の意味もない。迷いを断ち切った、迷いを捨てた天山がトップロープから頭をどれっぱらに持ってった。さあそして片身を天山勝った。 IWGP7 度目の頂点にして新チャンピオンになりました天山。
俺の新しい時代、今日から始まるんだ。よく見とけよ。
Yet the reign was not a smooth one. Just 1 month later, Tenzan was upset by super rookie Shinsuke Nakamura, who himself vacated the title due to injury soon after. February in Ryogoku saw Tenzan face Tenryu in a bloody bout to become a 2-time champion, but this reign too would end briefly. The sequence of events would set Tenzan and Shinsuke Nakamura into a G1 Climax playoff battle in a fight against the so-called new Three Musketeers that defined his G1 Climax run. Katsuyori Shibata fell in the semifinals, and then ultimate triumph came over Hiroshi Tanahashi for 2 straight G1 trophies. Riding high on G1 victory, December would see Tenzan victorious over Kensuke Sasaki, taking the IWGP title back from the man who had beat him for the belt. Tenzan ended 2004 as champion, but his third reign was also cut short, this time by an old friend and rival. Satoshi Kojima was also at the peak of his powers as Triple Crown champion in All Japan Pro Wrestling. For the first time ever, February 2005 saw Ryogoku host to a title versus title mega match, and the fight was as epic as expected. Through over 59 grueling minutes, it seemed like a full time limit draw was on the cards, but Tenzan lost consciousness at 59 minutes and 45 seconds.
IWGP
Kojima had made history and made off with the IWGP Heavyweight Championship to All Japan Pro Wrestling. Shinsuke Nakamura stepped up for NJPW, but it had to be Tenzan defending Cerulean Pride in the end. In the Tokyo Dome in May, Tenzan innovated the original TTD to become a 4-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion. New Japan's youth was finding its stride, but at 34 years old, Tenzan was still at his peak, as a singles and tag team wrestler alike. October 2005 saw his Choten team with Masahiro Chono defeat Hiroyoshi Tanahashi and Shinsuke Nakamura to claim the IWGP Tag Team Championship. But this would be the last reign for Choten, and actually Tenzan's last championship for 7 years. Tenzan was still a sensational tournament wrestler though, as was Satoshi Kojima, and the Tenkozi rivalry persisted when Kojima was an outside entrant to G1 Climax 16. With echoes of last-second defeat the prior February in Ryogoku, Tenzan put away the ghost of the past and Kojima himself for his third G1 Climax trophy.
G1 最終戦きっちり天山広吉が締めました。真壁、そして星永志郎、この2人と踏んだら面白いんちゃうかなと、この3人今日がスタートで思ってますんで、でかい波を起こしてみましょう。
Now leader of a new faction in GBH, Tenzan was very much at the center of attention, as proven by the main event of the first Wrestle Kingdom. Albeit defeated by Muto and Chono, Kojima and Tenzan became the only duo to ever main event in the Tokyo Dome as both a singles and tag team together. Now a standard for the new generation to beat, Tenzan found himself pursued in October 2007 by his former attendant, Hiroki Goto. Goto defeated Tenzan with his Ushigoroshi move, doing severe damage to the neck, enough to put him on the shelf for several months. Togi Makabe had taken over the GBH mantle when Tenzan was away, and when ring rust led to miscommunication in Tenzan's return bout, Jado, Gedo, and Tomohiro Ishii kicked Tenzan out of the faction he had founded. Now a raging bull, Tenzan was determined to get revenge on his former teammates, finding a new ally of his own in Takashi Iizuka. It seemed like Tenzan had somewhat on his side to defeat overwhelming odds as GBH only increased in numbers. Yet more heartbreak came for Tenzan not 1 month later. Iizuka and Tenzan were challenging for the IWGP Tag Team Championships when Iizuka dropped off the apron, joining GBH and transforming almost overnight into a demented monster. An enraged Tenzan would have some measure of comeback in a lumberjack match in Korakuen Hall, but GBH still overwhelmed him right up until a true friend had Tenzan's back when he needed it the most. Kojima's return saw Tenkozi reunited and a victory in the 2008 G1 Tag League, their first tournament victory together in 7 years. Yet, it was stop-start again for Tenzan. A detached retina put him on the shelf for 4 months, and Tenkozi lost their return #1 contenders bout, mutually deciding to part ways once more. Injuries were mounting for Tenzan, who was attacked by Takashi Iizuka and GBH after a G1 Climax bout with Manabu Nakanishi in the summer of 2009. On the shelf for 15 months, he finally returned on the Never brand in November of 2010, defeating Antonio Honda. Tenzan was driven to get revenge on Iizuka specifically, even as GBH had now disbanded and the Monster represented Chaos. It all led to the Deep Sleep to Lose match at Wrestle Kingdom 5. Victorious, Tenzan declared a career revival heading into G1 Climax 21, and his friend Satoshi Kojima was right there with him. Kojima had now re-signed with NJPW, and an emotional G1 League victory for the strongest arm brought these two best friends closer together once again. Tenkozi were reunited and stronger than ever heading into Wrestle Kingdom 6. With a mighty moonsault from Tenzan the finish, Tenkozi ended the historic year-long V10 reign of bad intentions to win the tag team gold for the first time in 5 years. Iizuka and Yano would end Tenkozi's reign in controversial circumstances, and ensuing rematches went to a no contest and then a double countout. The titles were vacated as a result, and Tenkozi won the deciding bout in Yamagata to move past the Chaos team at last. Tenzan, now a 10-time tag team champion. The Killer Elite squad of Lance Archer and Davey Boy Smith Jr. made that reign a brief one, but tag reign 11 for Tenzan and number 5 for Tenkozi came at Dontaku 2013 in a chaotic 4-way bout, with the legendary duo this time holding on to the belts for a 6-month period. It wasn't just IWGP success for Tenkozi at this point. At Invasion Attack 2014, the two put away Jax Dane and Rob Conway to win the NWA World's Tag Team Championship and etch their names into another historic lineage. With a taste for NWA Gold, Tenzan faced Rob Conway again at New Beginning in Sendai in 2015. This time, the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship was on the line, and a moonsault put him in the company of Kojima, AJ Styles, Hashimoto, Chono, Muta, and Fujinami as the 7th man to have won both the NWA and IWGP heavyweight titles. Tenzan's NWA reign was his first singles title in close to a decade. In 2016, he sought more in the form of the Never Openweight Championship. Katsuyori Shibata had claimed the gold and re-signed with New Japan, but hadn't earned the respect of the veteran class after abandoning New Japan Pro Wrestling a decade prior. Tenzan brought a vicious fight, but fell just short in his last career singles title challenge.
Tenzan の G1 クライマックスにかける意気込み一番分かってんのはこの俺だ。最後の G1 って言うんだったらこれは俺の枠を天才に渡すよ。
ありがとうコジ。コジの分も頑張るわ。
That summer, Tenzan's name was not in the field of 20 for G1 Climax 26. Showing the depth of their bond, Kojima gave his position to Tenzan for one last summer ride, one that ended with a win over Tomohiro Ishii. Then at the 45th anniversary in 2017, those bonds brought tag gold to Tenkozi one final time. 6 reigns for the duo was a record that lasted half a decade, while Tenzan's 12 tag team reigns altogether is one that will stand the test of time. Time was waiting for no man and no monster. In February 2019, Takashi Iizuka retired, and Tenzan fought for his last chance to bring the humanity out of the demonic beast. Despite an emotional appeal, Iizuka would still rage into the long good night. The next February, Tenzan was a part of another retirement match, this time for third-generation contemporary Manabu Nakanishi.
スラー人生を全うしました。天山が海外武者修行から帰ってきて、天山広義とリングネームを変えて戦ったその最初の男がこの中西学でした。
As the world was thrown into confusion in 2020 and Tenzan had his own questions to answer of himself, he turned to raising a new generation, coming to the aid of a debuting Master Wato.
いや俺が全面的にバックアップしてるよ。そしてトップなれよ、一番なれよ。
The next generation were not all kind and honorable, though. Great Okan fought Tenzan over the rights to the Mongolian chop, winning the move from the veteran.
天山広義の代名詞が奪われました。世のものだ。
But the next month, Tenzan would reveal a legally distinct version of his iconic strike. Still with the same determination that brought him 12 IWGP tag titles, 4 IWGP heavyweight reigns, and 3 G1 climaxes, Tenzan wrestled his last career title match in September 2023 alongside Togi Makabe and Tiger Mask, a valiant challenge for the never openweight 6-man gold. On May 11, 2026, Hiroyoshi Tenzan announced his retirement with one more match against Satoshi Kojima.
35周年になりますけれども、今年の2026年8月15日、私現役を引退することを決めました。私にとって、タッグで組んだり、時には、シングルで戦ったりした、生涯ライバルである小島聡選手と、シングルマッチをやりたいと思います。引退試合まで、残り1ヶ月切りました。しっかりと練習して、最高の試合にできるようにさせていただきますので、最後も試合を応援よろしくお願いいたします。
For 35 years, Tenzan brought an intimidating, hard-hitting style with a fearsome persona and iron will. Yet, he also showed with a kind demeanor and good humor that proved the good guy can finish first. 4 IWGP Heavyweight Championships, 12 IWGP Tag Team Championship reigns, 3 G1 Climax trophies, a Young Lion Cup, the Super Great Tag League Trophy, 3 G1 Tag League wins, and 3-time Tokyo Sports Tag Team Award, among countless memories and the hearts touched. Thank you, Tenzan, and congratulations on your legendary career.
Okay, come on.